Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading for April 13th through the 19th of 2020. So, if you guys haven't, do make sure to subscribe, do make sure to share the video if you enjoyed it, and definitely check out your monthlies as well as your other weeklies for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. If you do want to book a private reading, guys, I've lowered all of my prices by 20% to help out during this difficult global pandemic time. So you can check out all my discount prices and how to book a reading in the description box below, along with all the information about the really amazing astrology, numerology, analysis service, Truly Divine, which I'll talk more about at the end. But you can use my code DEKU30 as many times as you want, send it to as many people as you want for discounted astrology, chart analysis, compatibility analysis, numerology, life path. So they're really incredible, and I'll talk more about that at the end, okay? So let's get into this. The astrology isn't too crazy this week. We have the moon overall moving from Capricorn all the way into Pisces, and the new moon in Taurus is early next week. We also, at the very end of this week, are going to have the sun moving back into Taurus. So happy birthday to those really early Tauruses like myself. So anyways, like I was saying here, not too much happening in terms of astrology moves this week, but with Saturn in Aquarius, which is all about boundaries in our social circles and settings, we're really finding ways, at least new ways, to connect with our fellow humans despite not being able to be together in person, especially during the holidays like Passover and Easter happening this week. So definitely use Facebook Live, Zoom, all those things to try to get in contact, being kind of face-to-face, even if it's digitally, or calling people. I've been again communicating with all my friends, playing all sorts of fun games on Jackbox and stuff through Discord calls. You can also again do the Facebook Live, the Zoom, whatever that other Facebook generated one is. I can't think of what it's called right now, but we have so many options to be able to connect even if we can't be face to face right now. So don't get discouraged. All right. Taurus season, again, like I was just saying, arrives April 19th. I always thought it arrived April 20th. It says that, and I checked it in a bunch of books that I have, so I don't know what's up with that. Anyone, if you know anything about that, please let me know because I'm confused. But anyways, Taurus season arrives April 19th on Sunday here, and the sun in fixed earth really pushes us to go outside and commune and connect with nature, even if it's as simple as sitting outside on your porch, sitting outside in the driveway, taking a walk down the street if you don't live in a place that has a lot of natural stuff going on like nature. Sounded really weird the way I said that, but anyways, if you're bored, you can go plant even like a succulent or something that you don't even have to take care of. But getting back into nature, back into cooking, having a lot of creativity and grounded, comfortable, earthy energy is going to be abound as we really close out this week. And just for a little interesting tidbit, Wednesday is the Celtic tree month of the willows beginning. So interesting. If you're born a month after Wednesday 15th or Wednesday, April 15th, or for the month after, your tree is willow. Interesting. All right, so let's get into the reading here, okay? All right, Leos, we're using the Hobbit Tarot to check out your week here. So Leo, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Let's check it out. You guys have been on quite an up and down roller coaster, but it has been really helping you guys grow in some amazing, amazing ways. And fixed signs have a hard time with change. Any of them. It's not just, the earth signs and Taurus. All fixed signs are known to have a hard time with it, but you guys are learning some really great lessons in this, and I think you're finally seeing things in a more positive light. Let's check out career. Okay. cool. All right, this is really interesting. It's like you guys kind of get a lesson in water earth, which is interesting. And how they kind of operate in terms of understanding that there's darker concepts inside things, especially water signs. So again, your advice this week is to realize that sometimes you can't know everything in a situation. Sometimes you do have to feel your way through, and you have to feel the bad with the good and learn from it all. The moon is kind of a shadier energy, but it also asks you to look at what isn't working, what doesn't feel right, what is trying to give you messages at this time, and feel your way through it. Try to understand it, but also realize sometimes you can't put feelings and fears into words, but they do come up when we have to examine some areas about self-love, which is a major theme this week. However, your overall theme here is the Hierophant. And again, like I said, there's a certain wise, it's like you guys are building up your wise bone. You're becoming a lot wiser. You're, taking things slower, having a little bit more patience, like I was saying, and looking deeper at areas where you have changed, at things that you needed to learn. It's a really, really lovely energy for you guys this week, honestly. There's needing to trust in the process. How do I describe this? There's definitely a process going on right now, but I think you guys are becoming a lot more aware of it and are reaching out and listening to that higher self and guiding yourself to a more fulfilling life, a more fulfilling path here, and doing what is better, healthier for you, listening to higher messages. And again, I think you can also receive that through obviously meditation, communicating with your higher self, however you do, which is amazing through meditation. But there's learning going on here. And also, if you don't know something, reach out to people, is what the Hierophant says. There is possibly a wiser older person that can guide you, or somebody that knows more about, these types of developments that you want to make within yourself and in your life that can really guide you right now. Okay? The world is your emotions this week. And again, as you grow, I love the combination of the Hierophant as the theme of the week and the emotions as the world. It just feels so much more empowered and ready for a new chapter, ready to close out the old, ready to be. There's also a sense of stability within oneself, loving oneself. Again, themes of self-love, self-commitment, which is interesting because I actually just did my self-dedication ceremony on that full moon in Libra. It's a really wonderful experience. I had never, even though I've been working in the craft for a long time, I've never done that, and I had never, been in a situation or a coven that could do that with me. So I decided to make something special with the Libra full moon and make my own type of commitment and relationship to a higher power, higher energy. And for some of you, you might be doing that this week, making commitments and expanding your mind, expanding yourself also in religious ways, in spiritual ways. There's an expanse in your spiritual self, and it feels almost like you're like leveling up in terms of your vibration. You've let go of a lot of the false beliefs and actions, and you're very aware of what you needed to change and what was holding you back, what was really unhealthy in your life. And now you're coming to this point of completion and rewards for it. You're feeling a lot, again, more empowered in yourself. Work is where we got to talk a little bit. It's okay. Let's just talk a little bit about work here. 9 of Wands and then the 10 of Wands. You guys need to set some boundaries in terms of work and let people know you can't do everything. Don't put too much on your plate right now. Don't overstress yourself out. Make sure you're resting. Make sure you're resting. I'm going to say it one more time. Make sure you're resting, okay? It's time to give yourself a break. We all need a break right now. This is kind of like the universe saying collective break, collective rest, okay? Time to also re-examine our boundaries, especially in terms of free work you do for your friends, do for people that you care about. And I don't even just mean in terms of career and stuff like that, but make sure your boundaries are aligned with where you're at now. Don't be letting in people, situations that are unhealthy, that are toxic, that continue to burden you and ask you to do this, do that for them all the time. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do for everybody, and you are not, I feel like I always have to tell you guys this, you don't have to do all the things that you do for everybody. You don't have to feel obligated. You have boundaries, okay? Start exercising them, all right? Do what's best for you and stay strong against people that want to continue to put those 10 wands on your back for like low prices or for free, or even again just in terms of friendship and people around you. That people might just be throwing things on you and you're like, I am busy, I'm busy and I don't have time for you right now. I have a life of my own. Even if you're not working, maybe I am. So like back off, that kind of stuff here, okay? Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups is your relationship this week. And again, I really want to talk about that in terms of self-love, because that was the first message I get. Yeah, it can mean other things. We'll look at that in a second. But really, this is about loving thyself, learning to love yourself more, really filling up your cup and making sure it's full. There's so much, again, nines are all about self. You've got 2 nines this week, your boundaries, your emotions, your emotional well-being, what makes you truly happy, what is going to fulfill you emotionally is loving yourself, being proud of yourself, committing to help to love yourself emotionally through any aspect that you might be, through anything that you might be going through any aspect of your life. The Nine of Cups is a really beautiful message, again, in terms of just feeling satisfied, feeling again like you're hitting this point of completion, like I love this new me, I really do love me, and this is what I'm going to stand for, and now that I am this new me, ain't nobody going to mess with me and my boundaries. This is where they stand. So you're putting yourself first and your happiness, your emotional well-being, you're sad, you know, you're also celebrating how far you've come emotionally, how much you've grown, and you should. There's a real sense of completeness and wholeness to your heart and being right now, and it just feels good. So let's look again a little bit more at terms of relationship and stuff like that. Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, Page of Wands. Yeah, we might be communicating with somebody that's really hitting us in that kind of way, but also make sure that they're mature enough for you. Make sure that, you know, everything's kind of lined up. They might just be saying things just because, again, they're flirty, passionate, etc. It feels more like you should be putting, again, that love into yourself. And if you're in a relationship, I'm feeling like you guys are really, again, that Libra full moon was very balancing, especially in terms of feeling whole as an individual. I can't speak, as an individual as well as within a relationship. There's a real sense of balance, truth, and our hearts just pouring out and feeling really at ease with this person, really complete, really happy, again, on an individual and a relationship level. So it's really beautiful. And again, your advice with the moon is a little interesting, because that's not usually a card that I'd be like, oh, that's some great advice, but there is a yearning for fulfillment in some area, and a yearning within our emotions that needs to be looked at, and that's kind of something. What else is coming out here? Yeah, death. Okay. We also might be afraid or fearing ends of relationships, you know, ending situations, or, you know, having people leave our lives. Could be bringing up some fear, bringing up some shadow emotions here. There's major transformations within you, and it could feel a little bit rocky at times, because you might want to go back to doing some of those old things, resorting to old ways of comforting and satiating yourself when you feel like uneasy, or you know, when people start asking you for help and all the other things that they ask you for, which is always a lot. Okay, so know that it's okay to feel a little bit ooh, but it's also really going to help you to dig deep into your emotions, into your higher self, into your intuition, into your emotional growth and self-love this week. It's really going to be beautiful. Let's pull one romance angel card, just one. Okay, because this is more, again, about self-love, it feels like this week. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Controlling within relationships might be a thing for you. It could also be that your partner's that way, but it's saying, you know, we can't control everything. You have to let people do what they're going to do. And in terms of love, don't try to control it. Don't try to make things happen right now. Just kind of go with the flow. And again, focus on self is what I get here. All right. Put these back before I drop the whole thing. Let's pull a Lynn V. Andrews power deck card here for you guys. Oh, okay. We gotta talk about this though, I guess. Grief. It's a really beautiful card, but kind of an intense message. Grief deepens you. It allows you to explore perimeters of your soul. Grief is the only gateway to certain levels of consciousness, and it is a hard taskmaster. Through grief, you can explore every aspect of your dark side: anger, pain, abandonment, terror, loneliness. And these are aspects of the sacred wound that in our daily lives we usually try to ignore. Grief forces you to look at those parts of yourself that are not yet healed. If you can look at grief as a teaching, you will grow. The pain of grief is not the only teacher in this life, but if looked at properly with awareness and an open heart, it is one of the greatest teachers of all. The seeds of wisdom and enlightenment are planted within the wounds of grief. What is lost can only come back to us again in higher ways. What a beautiful message for you guys. I felt that that really conveyed a lot of, you know, the skeletons, the background of this reading, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed your weekly. Do be sure to check out your other weeklies and your monthly. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share the video if you enjoyed it. And again, I'm taking 20% off of all my readings, and how to book is in the description box below. Definitely check out Truly Divine if you're bored and you want to, you know, check out your astrology, you know, get a really deep analysis on it, because they don't just tell you, you know, like, you're stubborn, that's that. They tell you, you know, the aspects that make that more difficult and the things that you can do to change that and how you can work on that, and all the astrology having to do with it. It's really, they're incredible. And the compatibility analysis was like out of this world. Like, it really blew even my partner out of the water, and he doesn't know anything about astrology. So definitely check that out, guys. If you haven't, you can use the code Deku30 as many times as you want. You can share it, and all that info is in the description box below, okay? So definitely check them out. Check me out over on Instagram to get more content if you're bored or you want to connect and see what I'm posting up over there. I'm always trying to keep it different and interesting there. And have a wonderful and blessed week, guys. And make sure to stay safe and stay healthy, my friends. Namaste.